Dirty Sports Podcast. I said welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy Ruther and Joe Prano. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Port Hueneme, California, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
Good morning to you.
Morning.
I was saying before the show, look at y'all. You got that fresh cut, that fresh beard trim.
Went to see Barber Cop Dave the other day. It's great. Cutting it up.
I'm curious to compare Cincinnati and California. Like, what does a beard trim and a haircut run you?
$65.
Damn. Mine's 36.
Okay.
It's about 30. Oh.
And I honestly, every time Dave's the man though, and it's always like very, sometimes my my haircut, I'm very specific about what I want: beard trim, mustache trim, stuff like that. So I usually throw him 80.
Damn.
Yeah.
How often you getting that cut?
Once every 2 months, probably.
All right, so it's times 6. That's about 480. That's almost $500 a year.
Yeah.
Keep the look.
And I think if I because Dave now, he used to cut at the spot by your place. Then he moved over to the Exquisite or whatever it was. Now he cuts out of a garage off of Electric Ave. And so when you're going straight to the artist, I feel like you're not required to tip for that kind of thing. So I think it could be 65, like without. I don't think it would be even like a question. Like, I don't think he expects a tip, but he's a good dude.
How long does that take?
Yesterday or 2 days ago, I was there probably 45 minutes.
Okay, longer than I thought. Man, he takes his time.
Yeah. But again, like for me, sometimes I go in and I feel like it's not really worth it because I'm like, oh, 2 on the sides, a little shorter on top. You know what I mean? If I get a summer, and if it's clippers, but like the other day I went in and I was like, hey, I'm trying to like grow it a little longer. So I want, scissors only. Let's just thin it out, beard trim. And he's like, yeah, I got you. He hooked me up. He always like in a pinch, if I have an audition or a showcase or a wedding, like, the week before my wedding, we did one like a month before to test run it. And then we did another one the week of. And so he's always there for me. Dave's a good guy.
What was the barbershop across the street from me next to the dispensary?
Old Glory.
That was it.
And remember, it was, I basically got shut down. Did you ever go in there?
Yeah, I got a cut there a few times.
So there was a guy who was covered in tattoos, face tattoos.
Yeah.
Anyway, he got outed on Reddit for being like a white supremacist, which, like, are we shocked? The place was called Old Glory Barbershop. So yeah, he had a lot of like super white supremacy, like internet postings.
I wonder why he put a swastika in my hair once.
Yeah.
Remember when I was doing the different designs?
Swastika on his face. But that's where I met Dave, and I loved Dave. And then Dave left and went to another barbershop, and then Dave went garage style during COVID.
Well, you're heading to Palm Springs, right?
Heading to Palm Springs, Indio. Yeah, gonna go see my niece play some national girls lacrosse tournament.
Oh, snap!
Yeah,
all the way out in Cali, huh?
Yeah, she's a goalie.
And this is Mikey's kid?
Yeah.
How old is she?
She's, I want to say 11.
So we're on like different ends of the spectrum there. He's got older kids. So that's a good age.
Yeah.
I think once they turn, everybody's like, wait until they turn into teens for girls. Wait until. I'm just like, okay, well, at least you can talk to them, right?
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Molly got tubes today. I've been up early.
How's she doing?
She's good. She was sleeping about 3 hours.
Full Dune. Just a little like young Chalamet, tube going to the nose.
Yeah. She got the tubes in the ears. It was a 6-minute surgery.
A new record.
6-minute surgery.
Yeah. Is that really a surgery?
They got to put her out, which is kind of like, that's tough to see. That we had to do with both kids. It's just tough to see them taking away like a baby. They got to put her under, right? But yeah, so I've been up, bro. She did good though. She did pretty good. That bill's not going to be good though. But I'm not going down that right now. I don't even want to look at it.
Yeah,
I don't want to look at it. We got some good stuff to talk about today. NFL playoffs. A lot is happening right now. A lot is happening. I've never seen. We talked about how great this postseason. Never seen a coaching carousel happen. You got to be feeling good. The New York Giants.
I feel great.
What, 5-year deal for Jim Harbaugh?
Is it finalized? Do they finalize it? Because I know it was like, it's happening, hired, all these things. And then they were like, they're still working out the details. And I was like, I can't. I'm such a Giants, Mets, Knicks fan that I'm like, until the poly market wager that I put on it officially pays, I'm not counting it. I
mean, finalizing.
Okay. But yeah, but it's happening, for all intents and purposes.
5 years, $100 million reportedly.
It's great.
And
especially, this goes back to the thing that I always talk about with baseball. In football, the money is obviously real, unlike baseball. But there's no salary cap on coaching. So who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You have to. This is the guy you want. You have to overpay him. Okay. Well, you'll make that back next year.
I know. I was getting into it with a buddy about that. Not with him on the Giants, but before we knew where he was going to go. And my buddies go, I'm seeing the numbers. Harbaugh, it's ridiculous. How good of a coach? I said, dude, this is the whole question. Everybody's debating. How good of a coach? I said, 18 years of stability?
Yeah.
Like, that is my message, by the way, to both Ravens and Steelers fans. I'm not saying the change is necessarily wrong for both coaches, for the record. But when you have nearly 2 decades, again, of stability, where every year you're like, you never know what can happen when they get in the playoffs. You and I both know that's hard to come by in the NFL. It just is. And that's what the Giants are getting. They're getting a guy who is respected and brings stability.
Let's go back to what I said the whole year about this Giants team. The goal is to be the Patriots, right? First year, 3 wins, 4 wins with Drake May, getting some experience, playing some close games, having to, lead the team. Then they went out, they got a respected veteran coach, and they're the 2 seed. As far, and here's the caveat the whole time. And you can go back and listen to Joe Prano say it. I said, they got Mike Vrabel. Not a lot of Mike Vrabels out there. As far as a Giants fan who had this little blueprint going, I don't know that we could have done a lot better than John Harbaugh. If this was the little blueprint you made, who were you hoping was going to step into that role that's more respected, better track record? I heard some people say like, well, Tomlin's out there. Wouldn't you rather have Tom? I'm like, I don't think so. No.
I mean, those two are very similar. Obviously, same division, almost the same tenure.
But if your blueprint was what I said it is, taking Mike McDaniel or taking whatever, it's not the same. Like, he's coming in again. He's respected by the veterans the second he walks through the door.
That's important. I agree, especially with the young team. Especially with a young team that has an upside, has a ceiling. Right, in a division that you would say is up for grabs. I mean, you honestly can. I know the Eagles have won what? How many division titles have they won in a row?
I don't know. 2.
Yeah, but my point is, the Cowboys are question mark. The Commanders are coming off a huge down year after a huge surprise year. It's just like it's a very winnable division. Is the point? The NFC is up for grabs. I think it's great. I think it's great for the league. I think it's great for Harbaugh. And he's going to be motivated. Guys, he was fired over the phone. Let's not forget that. You don't think he's motivated? He was fired over the phone by the Ravens owner. He's going to be motivated. He's walking in there and he's like, we want to win now. Like you said, the Patriot model. Year 2, your rookie quarterback. I think it's great.
I think it's great too. I could not be happier.
And I can't think of a better coach, truthfully. Like you said, who else is out there? None of these young guys. You brought up Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel, you know what your path is, man? And that's fine. Your path is Josh McDaniels. Like just be an OC. Be a great play calling OC. You're not head coach material. Now, I'm curious what you think about him bringing in Monken.
Is that reportedly for sure a lock thing that's going to happen? I know a big part of the deal was having his, having full say over his staff and having a budget for his staff and whatever, but I don't know if that's a locked and loaded thing. I certainly haven't seen it reported as like it's a done deal.
Well, I don't think it's a done deal. He wants to bring in Todd Monken. Look, I don't follow, I'm not in the weeds enough. I know these dork fans will be like, yeah, well, he was not that good of a play caller for the Ravens and, whatever. And I'm sure there's a debate there.
Well, and that, Stephen A. Smith was on this morning. He was like, is this really a good hire? He going to bring Todd Monken with him? Who didn't know when to give the ball to Derrick Henry? And yet he's going to know how to give the ball to Kevin Scatterboo? Sorry, Cam Ward? Sorry, what's his name? Erica Kirk? I'm just up here saying, you had 7.5 years of Lamar Jackson. What did you win? What did you win? With a quarterback who can't really pass the ball accurately and is hurt all the time. You didn't get 3 Super Bowls. You didn't get 4 Super Bowls. I know one thing. If you let me be the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens with Lamar Jackson, we was getting a Super Bowl. And am I simultaneously calling them out for not winning with Lamar Jackson and also not making Lamar Jackson hand off the ball to Derrick Henry more? Yes, I am. How could he not win when he had a running back who could have done the heavy lifting for the quarterback who can't pass, but also had this dynamic quarterback? How are you not winning? Stephen A. Smith, get the fuck off my TV already. I can't stand the people whose only existence on planet Earth in the media is to just take the opposite take. Everyone agrees it's a good hire. 100% of people agree it's a good hire. Is it? Is it though? You think Jackson Dart's going to win 2 MVPs?
Well, they've hitched their boat to him.
You think Malik Neighbors, one of the most dynamic wide receivers of all time, is going to put up the numbers of Zay Flowers? Come on, man.
I mean, he called Christian Kirk Charlie Kirk the other day.
It's unbelievable.
And then somebody went ahead and made this, which was going viral.
Charlie Kirk catch 8 receptions for 144 yards.
You saw Charlie Kirk have 8 catches for 144 yards. He rose from the dead like Lazarus. Charlie Kirk was out there with a bullet wound in his neck catching over the middle of the field.
You got a big game from Charlie Kirk. And now you going to the next round of the playoff. Nico Collins, is he going to play? I don't know. Is Riley Gaines going to have to be in the slot? We shall see. I ain't got no idea.
Abe Lincoln is coming back from the dead. And then somebody fucked around and made this, and I couldn't stop laughing.
Looking downfield, he's got Kirk.
It's so bad, it's so funny.
Spinning catch. Kirk touchdown. And a diving grab by Kirk. First down, and there he is again. What a night for Kirk.
Like, you know, we live in such good AI, and it's just like it's sometimes it's great when it's just shit. But by the way, if you say that, if you misspeak, this is one of those instances where he like apologized quickly, where you just go, I can't believe I said that. Like you gotta call out on air and be like, because we know I do that all the time.
Oh yeah, and you hear it all the time on broadcasts, because in broadcast, and obviously Stephen A. Smith does too. But like when they're calling a live game and somebody will say something wrong, you know, they immediately get it in their ear and they immediately correct. They just correct it without even blinking. They just like move. There's like, sorry, I meant Miami. And they move on. But that's not Stephen A. Smith's thing. Stephen A. Smith's thing will always be doubling down. I said Charlie Kirk because I meant Charlie Kirk.
Who was the tight end? Was it Hunter
Also,
Henry?
Stephen A. Smith being a weird Republican.
I don't think he is, though.
Stephen A. Smith, again, just the Stephen A. Smith is the ultimate. I'm just going to say what I'm just going to go opposite everybody.
He's saying he's literally talked about running for president on the Democratic ticket.
Yeah. That would not work.
Can you imagine seeing him out there? Was it Hunter Henry? Who was the guy? Was he the tight end?
Yeah. Who had been injured for the entire season when he made a prediction about him making catches in the playoff game? Henry Hill, the guy from Goodfellas, is going to get 11 catches. I think he means Hunter Henry, who's been out with a knee injury.
King of the Hill is coming out of the cartoon. It's unbelievable. So, Harbaugh's to you Giants.
100% of people besides Stephen A. Smith think it's a great move.
Yeah, I did. I mean, you told me this before the show. I was like, I haven't seen not a single person be like, yeah. And especially the state of the Giants. You know this. It's like, what have they done for 10 years? Again, stability, respect, things they need, most importantly.
One winning season in the last 11 years.
Wow. And then the Steelers have Tomlin step down.
Yep.
Which is interesting, by the way. They still, a lot of people, I think, miss this. They still control his rights. It could be a Sean Payton situation where they trade him.
Yeah. Although they've said they don't expect that to happen, right? They don't expect him to be coaching in 2026.
Yeah, but I'm saying if he takes a year off, does TV.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen so many debates surrounding him. So many,
You know what they should do? If he wants to do TV, they should trade him to ESPN before Stephen A. Smith.
And then
Stephen A. Smith is the Steelers coach. You're in the crowd smacking people in the face? Donkey Kong Metcalf? What is we doing over here, Donkey Kong? You don't think Stephen A. Smith has people talk shit to him? You don't think I could have smacked LeBron James if I wanted to? You think I just bitched out and didn't say anything until 2 days later when I was on TV? No. No, I showed restraint, Donkey Kong. Where them aviators at? Give me them aviators.
You know, the Tomlin
Look like Tom Cruise in Top Gun. Let me ask you something else. How come there ain't no black pilots in? How come the one guy's got to be sundown? It's like they only had him in that movie to sing the hard part in that song. If they didn't need a baritone, they ain't never been no black guy in Top Gun.
Sundown gets more airtime on our show than anywhere.
Don't give me them black glasses like Mike Tomlin. I want them reflective shades like Sundown. We could have had him, man.
You know, I don't know where I stand, and I know, again, everybody has such an opinion of the Tomlin thing. It's like the one side's going, look, they haven't won a playoff game. They've also been, you know, the pro Tomlin side's good. He's dragging not good rosters with not good quarterbacks to the playoffs, and then they lose instantly. And the other side's going, yeah, well, he probably had a lot of say as well in the roster makeup, which is probably true. So it's like I see both sides of it. But again, overall, I think we'd agree. He brought stability. Like, he brought this. The Steelers definitely have not had any chance on winning a Super Bowl in the last, I don't know how many years.
I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and they were like, who else does that? 18 winning seasons and we never had a losing season. And I'm like, every Steelers coach ever? Like, there's a little bit of it. It was like, it's not like they had instability. They've had 3 coaches since TVs were in black and white. So there's also like good, like, is there a little?
Well, I mean, they had some losing. Chuck Noll and Bill Cowher had some losing seasons.
Yeah. Okay.
But your point is, like, they just
stable franchise.
100%.
I feel like being the head coach of the Steelers is like being the head of marketing for McDonald's or Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you think we should do? Director of marketing Mike Tomlin, he's like, polar bears with glass bottles around Christmas. Book it. And they're like, yeah, we've been doing that for 45 years.
Yeah, I mean, Cowher only had 3 losing seasons.
And let's not forget, in a division with the Browns and the Bengals. The Ravens have been the Ravens, but 2 free wins from 2 teams.
No, I agree. I agree. And look, it has been a stable franchise basically our whole life. Right? Like you and I would both agree that the Steelers, I don't care the year or if they have any Super Bowl legit aspirations or possibility to win. You and I both know it's a team. It doesn't matter who they're playing. You're like, you don't take Pittsburgh lightly.
Yeah.
Right. It's just that team. And because you just know what they can do. I mean, I told you I was chirping. I couldn't resist because for some reason, like, dumb Bengals fans were chirping when they got their ass kicked to the Texans. And I did something I don't normally do. And I hopped in Twitter and responded to some dumb local reporter bragging about how the Bengals, since they drafted Joe Burrow in 2020, have the most playoff wins. More playoff wins than all the other AFC North teams combined. And I'm just like, this is what you guys are
right.
Like, this is what we're celebrating. 5 playoff wins over 2 seasons. that happened in 2021 and 2022 seasons. It's 2026. But like my point of that too is like these fans are so stupid. It's like Pittsburgh has been a stable franchise. And to me, that is the difference between a Steelers, Ravens, and let's say a Bengals and Browns franchise. Those two other ones, you know why their fans are all mad at their coaches? Because they ain't winning Super Bowls.
Right.
That's why.
Meanwhile, Bengals fans have, 40% of Bengals fans are defending Zach Taylor because he won a couple playoff games.
Exactly. And I think to kind of also wheel in your Giants, and we talked about this on the phone, it's like, that's the bar. You've grown up and watched it. There are certain franchises where the bar is Super Bowl.
Listen,
certain ones where they relish, we won playoff games.
This is something that I think about all the time across my sports teams, and I have a completely different attitude toward it. The Giants, I always think the Giants should be trying to make moves to get to greatness again, have stability, be in the playoffs year in and year out, win a couple Super Bowls, whatever. My attitude toward the Mets is get a fucking World Series and then figure it out. If you do a Marlins where you go all in and you get a World Series and then you tear down the team and you start over, that's fine, because it's been 40 years. No one gives a shit about your long-term plans. And that's the difference between the Steelers and the Ravens and the Bengals and the Browns. I mean, 100%. Imagine there being 50 whatever years of Super Bowls. The Browns haven't played in one of them.
Not one of them. And that's the point that I always want to bring up when it comes to these NFL discussions. There are certain fan bases who have a legitimate high bar, Super Bowl or bust bar. And actually, I think it'd be kind of fun one time if we went through. It's like and off the top of my head, I can just tell you. I mean, I just named two of them, three of them actually, including your Giants. It's like, Patriots, Packers, Niners. You can start just looking like where the fans, all they care about is winning a Super Bowl. Broncos. Basically teams who've won Super Bowls. And then you got fan bases who are bragging about being runners up.
Teams that have won Super Bowls in the modern era or won a couple Super Bowls or win a Super Bowl every X amount of years or whatever. You know what I mean? Like the Jets won in the 60s.
Yeah, I'd even say like take a team like the Bucks who have 2 Super Bowls in the last 20 years. It's like, I don't know many Bucks fans, but I bet their bar for their fans is like, we won a couple. Like, we want to get back to a Super Bowl. I don't know what Jameis won. I don't know what his bar is, but that would be the normal bar, I would assume.
Most playoff wins under the age of 24 and a half.
Speaking of coaches, Sean Payton took a lot of fire for this exchange he had. I'll pull this bad boy up. Exchange he had with a reporter the other day, and I got 2 different angles of it. I believe this was yesterday or the day before.
Having Greenlaw back for this game, his ability to attack downhill in the run game, just how big is that and the timing of it for this one?
You want him to attack downhill? Is that your, what do you know about attacking downhill in the run game? You don't know. All right, that's right. But have him attacking downhill. It's good to have a healthy Dre Greenlaw back in the game. Yeah.
Their quarterback.
Okay, so there's that angle. This was coming from, let me pull it actually up here, Prano. This was from a local Denver Post writer. It looks like he's just very young, Luca Evans, and then he posted
Luca Cash Money.
Not Luca Cash Money. He did call though. I can play that here in a minute. This is his angle. The guy who asked the question, Luca's angle from the exchange.
Greenlaw back for this game, his ability to attack downhill and in the run game, just how big is that and the timing of it for this one?
You want him to attack downhill? Is that your, what do you know about attacking downhill?
That's a good point. I'm not a middle linebacker.
Right.
See, he backs down there. That's a good point. I'm not a middle linebacker, which I don't like him backing down there.
That's right.
But
Sean says that's right.
Against
attacking downhill.
Okay,
It's
against
good
the
to
run
have
game. Yeah.
a healthy Dre Greenlaw back in the game.
So now everybody is like, he's always been a dick. He's a dick. Everybody's rooting for the Bills, Josh Allen.
I was always rooting for the Bills, and I always thought Sean Payton was a dick. And more importantly than being a dick, I think Sean Payton's overrated. And more importantly than Sean Payton being overrated, I think Sean Payton thinks he's some sort of fucking football coaching god for winning one Super Bowl with Drew Brees during a fucking, like how many years in New Orleans. And again, New Orleans, to be fair, the Aints, one of those teams where that's it. You won your Super Bowl, right?
But also, let's not forget, he had to sit out a year
Right.
because he was
Because of bounty game.
putting bounties for them to injure opposing teams' players.
But also, the Sean Payton throughout his career, okay, Sean Payton is not the New Orleans Saints, as proven by the fact that he is now a Denver Broncos head coach. So it's like, cool, you had a long career in New Orleans and you got the one Super Bowl for that town that was desperate for it. And like, yeah, it happened with Bounty Gate. Okay, whatever. But historically, if you take a look at his career, is it like, I love that we act like Sean Payton was winning 13 games every year or 12 games every year. Sean Payton had a lot of those fucking mediocre seasons in the NFC South.
Well, I can pull it up for you. I mean, he had 3 straight 7-9 seasons at the height of Breeze, 2014 through 2016. 3 straight. And look, that's my thing. Like I think you bring up a good point. He coached the Saints, and obviously he did well, but he coached the Saints from 2006 to 2021. Coached them 15 years. He had 4 losing seasons and 1 500 season. So I just want to bring in Tomlin, like just as a comparison.
Now let's talk about this since you're going to bring that up. Have I always said that Mike Tomlin was overrated?
Yeah, you for the most part.
Yeah. Not nearly as overrated as Sean Payton.
Well, yeah, my point is that in 15 years, he's got 10 winning seasons. And the point is, Tomlin never had a losing season in 19 years at Pittsburgh. Now, I know that's just one, data point in this discussion. But Sean Payton had Drew Brees, man. Like here's what's gonna be interesting for me, Joe, as we move in these playoffs. It's like, yeah, the Broncos are 14-3. They've won close games. They've played well. Defense played really well this year. Started to fall off towards the end. I'm not a firm believer in Bo Nix. You're not either. Neither of us at this point are firm believers in Sean Payton. It's like, that's why I'm picking the Bills to win. The Bills are the favorite. In Mile High, against the 1 seed that just came off a bye. To me, that is a reflection of Sean Payton. Sorry. It is. And if they lose, then what was this season? I think you can tell by that exchange, he has such an ego. And I think that went to him drafting Bo Nix. And I don't know how Bo Nix is going to play out. But like, if you just put on side by side a Bo Nix Drake May, I mean, I'll laugh. I would laugh. I mean, it does give me more fodder to root for the Bills. I was already going to root for the Bills, but.
And it's just also like, listen, if this guy was some fucking super football nerd, would he be the, Denver Post online reporter? Like, you're a fucking football coach. Just answer the question. Maybe if you're going to be a dick about it, stay in the dick lane, and educate him. What do you mean by tackling downhill? What do you think you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I think you mean. And then also just serving up on a platter the ability to hype up one of their players who's coming back from injury. But instead he's like, let me shame a reporter.
Well, that's a good point. That's a great opportunity to stroke the ego of your guy coming back. Psychologically, great way to get him amped up. You know,
John, Joe Prano, Dirty Sports Podcast. If you're such an offensive genius, how come your offenses suck so much? Have you ever thought about playing downhill?
He looks like Sean Payton to me is like the guy who's like, you pull up next to him and you open your car door and he's like, did you scratch my Mercedes? He's that guy. Did you scratch my Mercedes? Open your car? Oh, get your kids away from my car. They're not doing anything. Get them away. They're just loud. I don't like them.
Hey, dickhead, get a full hat. What are you, a frat boy on spring break in 2003? It's with the fucking visor.
Was he Giants back? He was an OC for the Cowboys. When was he Giants? Before Cowboys?
Yeah. I think
Is that Kerry Collins?
Oh yeah. Pretty sure he was our OC when we got absolutely butt fucked by the Ravens and scored no points in the fucking Super Bowl. Kerry Collins, 0 touch on any pass he ever threw. Sean Payton's answer for that, lots of screens. Let's throw lots of screens with a cannon-armed Kerry Collins. Kerry Collins is good at 2 things and 2 things only: getting drunk and throwing bombs. How many bombs should we throw? How about none? He's got a really strong arm. Maybe we should run some like deep crosses. Nah, fuck that. Passes 2 yards behind the line to Tiki Barber.
Yeah, correct. He was the OC 2000-2002 for the Giants. And then he went to the Cowboys, then the Saints. So go Bills.
Yeah.
Right?
It is, and it has always been fuck Sean Payton.
Yeah, he doesn't do himself any favors with that.
The whole world hating Sean Payton today is again, I'm going to reference the meme again, the Timothy Busfeld in Field of Dreams. Like there's a bunch of fucking people with burning torches outside of the Sean Payton, and they're like, hey, when did this bearded podcaster get here? Oh, I've been here the whole time. Welcome to Joe Prano Island. Grab a pitchfork.
Well, when he did a year on TV, he wasn't really likable either, in my opinion. He's not like Mike Tomlin. Here's another, again, Tomlin Payton comparison. Tomlin can be short and maybe people could say abrasive sometimes. But I feel like here's the thing about Sean Payton, but I'm not saying that's justified. I feel like it's more likable. Like Mike Tomlin, I don't know if, every year you see it, they do those anonymous surveys. He's been like the number 1 guy coaches or guys want to play for.
You know what we need to do? We need to pair the Jacksonville Reporter by Sean Payton and really turn everybody on Sean Payton forever. She'd be like, hey, Coach Payton, I just want to let you know that you are a great, handsome man. You're doing a great job. And you smell good, and I like your cologne, and you're just a sweet man. And honestly, a lot of people make fun of the visor, but I like it. Who needs a full hat when you could also get a little sun on that little head of yours? Oh, and a lot of people criticize you because you went 7-9. I think 7-9 is a respectable little record to have in the NFC South. I think you did a great job. And a lot of people think You maybe wasted Drew Brees' career, but he had that thing on his face. And I understand you not being able to look at him when you're in quarterback meetings. That thing was weird. You want some pancakes, honey bunny? You want a biscuit? And then he'll be like, you think I want a fucking biscuit, you bitch? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that is a good point, though, the NFC South. Another team I'm rooting against.
Let's go.
Based on how their owner is handling or how the team is handling resale tickets. We got to hop into the Seahawks thing we haven't gotten to yet.
Unbelievable.
This is unbelievable.
And we got to talk about the guy whose tweet you sent me. We got to talk about these guys.
Oh, man.
Welcome to another edition of Cucks for Billionaires.
Cucks for Billionaires. Or Cucks Slurps or Cucks for Billionaires?
Cucks for Billionaires.
Yeah. So I don't know who this guy is. He's a Seahawks guy. Evan Hill. Out of Evan Hill HB. His profile is talking about the Seahawks, the salary cap, and sometimes politics. Okay. Well, regardless, he posted this and it went viral. Over 4 million views. I sent it to you. And it says the Seahawks season ticket holders who are reselling their playoff tickets are getting advanced warnings. He put this out a week ago and wrote, "Excellent work, Seahawks." And this is a screen grab of it. This is what apparently they're sending to season ticket holders who are trying to resell their tickets for playoff games. It says, playoff ticket resale notice. Our records indicate that your seats for the upcoming divisional round playoff game are currently posted for resale. As communicated prior to the 2025 season, 2026 renewal eligibility may be impacted if it is determined that your season tickets, including any playoff games, were used primarily for resale purposes. To avoid any impact to your renewal eligibility, we ask that you remove your resale listing and ensure your tickets are used by another 12. So, all right, another Seahawks fans. We encourage you to distribute your tickets directly to friends, family members, neighbors, or community groups that will help us pack Lumen Field with blue and green. Unbelievable.
Let me just say something. If you are the type of person that buys season tickets to an NFL team at this point, certainly if you're one that buys it to a team like this Seattle Seahawks, if you resell your tickets to a home playoff game and you don't go through some process of trying to sell them to a fellow Seattle fan or putting them on a Seattle fan trading site or going on Seattle fan Reddit or whatever, yeah, I think you're kind of a dick. Also, and most importantly, you're allowed to do whatever the fuck you want because you paid for the tickets.
Yeah.
You paid for the fucking tickets. Here's the deal. If you, in the world we live in today, with people struggling to make rent and struggling to eat and struggling to whatever, if you buy a bunch of food and then throw a bonfire in your backyard and burn food in front of hungry people, you're a dick. Also, you're allowed to do whatever you want because you spent the money on it.
Yeah.
And the idea that anyone is going to let the billionaires that took your money tell you that you're not allowed to recoup some of it. Here's the thing. The majority of people that buy NFL tickets at this point buy them with the full intent to sell a few of them and recoup a lot of their money. They're like, oh, I get to go to 6 games a year. And then I sell a couple games. And, my kids get to go. I had to front the money, though. I had to front the money for the season tickets. And now I'm going to make it back.
This whole thing to me is absolutely ridiculous. On all fronts, from the Seattle Seahawks to this billionaire bootlicker who is just living in the comment section. I mean, I'll just read some of his comments. The first comment, which got the most likes, which I agree with, says, maybe I'm crazy. My money, my option to sell tickets that I bought. This Evan Hill guy responds, incorrect. Season tickets are for dedicated fans committed to supporting the team in person. They are not a financial investment or a profit-generating asset. Membership is a privilege, not a guaranteed right.
You're a profit-generating asset for the owner. And guess what? Guess what? Read the first part of that again.
I'm sorry, the first part of what? What he
First
said?
part of his reply.
Incorrect. Season tickets are for dedicated fans.
Did you put me through any sort of dedicated fan application? No, you didn't. What you put me through is a payment website where I put my credit card in and outshot tickets. You didn't check to see if my credit card had Matt Hasselbeck's face on it. You didn't check where it was located. You didn't check wherever. You took my money. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Now, he replied to a lot of people. He didn't reply to my comment, which was, yes, deep throat that billionaire boot, but more importantly, moan while you do it.
You know, I don't even think, like, if you buy tickets, like you said, these tickets are so expensive. You talk about the seat licenses, the PSLs, all this stuff. It's so expensive. If somebody wants to sell them, or I'm not even talking about making money. Things come up, man. A kid gets sick. Somebody has to go to the hospital, a work function, whatever. Things come up. So who are the Seahawks as an organization to even know what's going on in someone's personal life?
Okay, so your kid got sick. Your kid got sick, and you can't come to the game this Sunday. And you didn't think, while your kid's in the hospital and you got some free time, instead of dilly-dallying in the hospital cafeteria, you didn't think about going door to door in greater Seattle and having a good look at everybody's man cave and seeing how big of a fan they are so that you could decide if the most deserving fan could get it. Let me ask you something else. When these teams, if I have an entire basement full of Seattle Seahawks shit, I got the chairs, I got the posters, I got the balls, I got the jerseys. Do I get a reduction in my ticket price? Or is my ticket price the exact same as a guy who just bought tickets so he could take his buddies, so he could take his clients? Same price?
It's, it's like me selling somebody my car and then being like, you can't resell that.
Yeah.
You have to buy that until it drives, until it's death. Like, what? It's so insane. And by the way, you know what the irony of this whole situation is? Lost on Cheddar Dick Evan and also lost on the owners. People wouldn't resell their tickets if you guys didn't make the price so fucking high that there could maybe create some sort of monetary value. You've dictated this to happen, right? You've created a market where the tickets are so overpriced. You're in cahoots with all these awful agencies like Ticketmaster and whoever who does these massive fees. You've created this problem. You've enabled it because, Joe, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. This was never an issue growing up for us, like the early football days. People weren't reselling their tickets because there was no profit to it. Not to this degree. One thing I'll give the Chargers. Yeah, the Chargers are going to get an actual positive shout out here. When I bought my season tickets, they literally did not hide it. The guy was like, bro, you want to he straight up literally was like that. He was like, you want to resell these? Make a few bucks? And I did that season. Not much. Made it like $500. Don't charge so much and people won't resell them.
Or don't charge me at all. And then don't tell me how I can spend your, like, you give me a fucking free gift. Okay. But when I spend money on something, it's an investment, dude. It's a fucking investment. The idea, it's a privilege.
That's such a weird take that it's a privilege.
Yeah, but half of these guys are just fucking. He gets his little free fucking blogger ticket. And so now he's going to suck off billionaires.
That's literally what it is. Oh, you know who else? Of course. You know who else is all over this? You know who then quote posted him and said more teams should do this at Seahawks? Rachel Nichols. Because of course she did.
Yeah.
I didn't even know she was still around. I don't even know what she does now. What'd she do? She's a Fox Sports 1 analyst.
Yeah. What does she do? Bench guys in the NBA. What does she do? She gets Eiffel Towered by fucking LaMelo Ball and Terry Rozier.
Wow. He gets those conjugal visits from jail, Terry Rozier.
Terry Rozier in jail? No.
Wasn't he in the gambling scandal?
Yeah, I don't think he's in jail.
Nah, no. I'm just making a joke. Got that bobblehead over there. Him as a Jedi. Shout out to the dirtball who sent that. Yeah, dude, it's you see it in every city. I see it here. Same thing. It's like these guys who bootlick, and it's just like it's next level pathetic. And that, like, this is such a pathetic bootlicking. Trying to tell people what they do with their tickets. And for that reason, I'm even more rooting against you guys this weekend. This is how I'm doing it. I'm rooting against. Again, I was already going to root for the Niners, and I was already going to root for the Bills. I'm rooting for them even more now. And did I put a bet on the? I took your advice. Did I put a bet on the Niners straight up? I put a whole $10 down to win 28. Andy Ruther with the Matty Goldberg bet. I put a whole $10.
Yeah.
A whole $10.
We're going to House of Pines after this.
Speaking of bets, too. I got
Prano probably put $2,000 on it, though, because he's a rich kid who was born in a country club sand trap. Did you know that Prano lives in his producer sister's basement rent-free? Just kidding. That's Maddie.
Justin Wood reached out to me.
Yeah.
He said, hey, he's not forgotten about me. I said, Justin, you was just ball bust. I know. I know you're not gonna, what's the word on the bet?
Welch.
I don't know, Welch. And also, I like Prano's idea. You want to double or nothing for next year? Come on. Taylor's the only coach left in that division.
I got a plan. Justin should buy Cincinnati Bengals tickets, resell them the first couple of games of the year when Bengals fans are still turt. Use that money to pay you off. And then go see the games when they're 6-10.
A lot of cockiness in my part of the woods now with all those coaches leaving. A lot of chest puffing those chest. Oh, it's our division now.
You know why it's not the Bengals division now? Because the other two teams hold themselves to such a high standard that they let go of guys who made or almost made the playoffs this year, while you guys extend the guy who didn't.
Very well said. And that is correct. Well, you know who's going to be rolling through these playoffs through the end. Our boys at Miller Lite, they be reffing them playoffs. Look at me in my little rugby outfit. What do you think?
It's the best. Is that not the most comfortable? I feel like that shirt is like formal wear.
You know, it's funny because I normally don't like this type of shirt.
A rugby shirt?
Yeah, the rugby shirt. I love this one. It fits great, man. It feels good. I'm
Very,
cozy.
very high quality. Very high. The patch on the arm. Show them the patch.
It is.
Look at that.
This. Look at this. Look at that. Yeah, man. It's a good
only reason
look.
I'm not wearing it today is because my wife was like, how much are you gonna wear that shirt? And I was like, every damn day.
Well, the games will be on, and I'm sure you will have. Look, we had a great. You and I argued last week was possibly the best wild card weekend of our entire life. So had a lot of great games, great moments. Miller Lights will be present this weekend for the divisional round for those great games, great moments.
I can't wait. I'll be in Palm Springs this weekend. I mean, you want to talk about taking NFL divisional weekend to the next level. It's going to be 82 and sunny. The Miller Lite. So usually it's two different things. In a floaty in the pool, Miller Lite is like right up there. It's a top 5 way to drink a Miller Lite. Playoff football watching Miller Lite, also a top 5. Bring them together like Voltron, watching playoff football in a floaty, in a pool, Miller Lite, Galaxy Brain. I cannot wait to watch some playoff football this weekend and drink some Miller Lights out in the desert.
Yeah. Just like with the playoffs and all these legendary moments that we're going to see. Legendary moments starts with a Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/dirty sports to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Celebrate responsibly. I'm sorry, it's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Do you want to preview these games?
Yeah. I was just thinking, like we had the Miller Lite Bowl last week with the Packers and the Bears. But I feel like I'm gonna be rooting for the Bears a little bit this weekend again, just because so many of their fans will be at home or at the game watching with Miller Lights in their hand.
This is
and that's
true.
great for me because I'm like a low-key Rams fan.
Yeah.
Low-key Stafford guy.
Sure.
But the sausage-eating, Miller Lite drinking Bears fans, you can't help but love them.
No, you can't. And that'll be a fun environment. It's cold, it's January playoff football. You really can't beat it. That's why I saw somebody had a great post of an aerial view of the stadium last week at night. And this, the reflection of Lake Michigan and all the skyscrapers. And somebody said, are we really going to move to the suburbs and put a dome? What are we doing? I was like, I couldn't agree more. Make Soldier Field work. Redo it again. Do what you got to do. All right. Bills Broncos are going to start us off at 4:30 on Saturday. Nice little appetizer, huh? Denver's a 1.5 point favorite. Oh, Denver. Whoa, Denver's a favorite now. Didn't the Bills open as a favorite, didn't they?
I think it did. Yeah.
So here's my thing, man. You do coach, quarterback, defense. QB obviously is Bills. Defense should be Denver. Should be. The Bills defense has been sus at many times this year. Denver's D has not looked as good either. Coach, I'll give it, I guess, to Payton. Denver's never even been in a Super Bowl. With all that being said, I'm going to ride Josh Allen's back. I just think I mean, this is his opportunity. We talked about it how many times? This is his opportunity. No Chiefs in the way. It's now or never, man.
I think I've been saying it for a while. I think that this is the sneaky Bills run that they never made as a 1 seed or a 2 seed or whatever. I think this is going to be a tough test. I mean, the defense in Denver. But that being said, I can't get my head around picking Bo Nix and the Denver offense. That team has played down to their competition the whole year. So all of a sudden, this being a high-scoring football game would not shock me at all. I'm pounding the over. I don't see the 19-16 football game. And in a little bit of I don't want to say a shootout. I don't think it's going to be a 41-40 game. But in a game where I feel like it is going to come down to who has the ball last or who makes the drive in the fourth quarter, I'm taking the Bills.
Like most games, I think turnover is going to be huge. And I think that's where the Bills can get them. If they get Nix to turn over the ball a couple times, at least once. I mean, Bo Nix at this stage of his career,
it's getting pretty late. His days are winding down to win a Super Bowl. Last hurrah before the body starts giving up on him.
I mean, truthfully, I'm gonna say you're Jared Goff light right now.
Okay. Wildly different, I feel like.
Well, they are wildly different players.
Yeah.
Obviously, Nix is way more athletic, can move around in the pocket. What I mean by that is like certain throws, letting the coach dictate what's going on here. The offensive coach. You got a good defense in back of you. Jared Goff always had that in LA. Maybe I just want to make comparisons to Jared Goff. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Maybe that was a reach. Regardless, I want to see Josh Allen in the Super Bowl. I do. For another reason to shut the Bengals fans up that I'm sick of hearing chirping. I made Allen, he was my number 2 behind Mahomes starting last year, and I'm still sticking there. And I just think his ability to run the ball as well. I don't know if I necessarily agree with you though on the points. It's 45.5. I think it will be low scoring.
I'm going over.
Bills win 24-20.
Bills win 31-24.
Okay. Niners, Seahawks. This is your night game. This is your Tom Brady called game. Niners, Seahawks from Seattle. And all those loyal fans who refuse to sell their tickets. 7-point spread here.
Insane.
Big, like it's a bizarre spread. They split in the regular season. Why is it 7, as I keep asking? Why is that?
Because so many guys are out on the Niners, and you got a week off, and the home field advantage. And
by the way, and Tony Dungy called this out, and I couldn't agree more with him. I think you might have said the same thing. It's the scheduling is just not fair. It's just not fair. The Niners played on Sunday. Now they got to play on Saturday. The Texans played on Monday. Now they got to play on Sunday. That's just not fair to have.
Well, the problem is that it eventually catches up with you, right? Because there's almost no way to meander it. And I think
why can't if you played on Saturday, keep it Saturday. If you played on Sunday, keep it Sunday. Now the Monday night is the one little wrinkle. And get rid of Monday night. Sorry, get rid of Monday night. If you play on Saturday, you play on Saturday. If you play on Sunday, you play on Sunday. Now you're right. Again, the championship games are going to be on Sunday. So at worst, you get an extra day. I just don't think it's fair.
I mean, I think it depends on the seeding, though. Like, you got to split these games up. If the matchups are a team that played on Saturday versus a team that played on Sunday, what day do you play on?
Damn you making sense on my rant.
But it should be something that's considered when they make the schedule for each round. Like, if there's a way to make it work, they should make it work. And it doesn't feel like they make any sort of thought behind it. I feel like they do it based solely on the TV schedule and who's going to be calling the games and what networks they're on and whatever. And I don't know. I feel like the networks get a choice.
Yeah, I don't know. Who do you think wins this game?
I think the Seahawks win the game, but I think 7's too big, and I love the value in the Niners. If you want to bet them,
I tend to agree. I think the Seahawks win. I'll be rooting for the Niners. Again, same thing I said last game. You gotta get turnovers. You gotta get Darnold to turn into Darnold. Jets Darnold. And Purdy, you can't.
It would be so fitting if the Seahawks do this whole thing about you not giving away your tickets to opposing fans, and then Sam Darnold just does Sam Darnold in the playoffs and has 5 giveaways to the Niners.
That would be great, actually. I'm hoping, last game, I didn't feel last game, the last time they played, I believe it was the last regular season game. Seahawks won 13-3, but they had control of that whole game. They really did. They had control of the whole game. And I'm hoping it's different. I'm hoping we have like a nice little back and forth. All right. Texans, let's move to Sunday. Texans, Patriots. I think this is a very appealing game. Texans, Patriots. Patriots are a 3.5-point favorite. Let's play a call from our boy down in Houston who's called in before. Talk about the squad here.
Andrew Boggs.
What's that?
Is it Andrew Boggs?
No, I forget what his name is. Let's see it.
It's Luke from Houston.
Luke.
All right.
Luke.
I know the Steelers were a pretty average team. Aaron Rodgers is old, but our defense is generational. But I wonder, is Stroud black Jared Goff, or are we going to go on a Russell Wilson Seahawks run? Anyway, I think we might be better than that Seahawks defense. It's way too early to say that because they won the Super Bowl. But it's not just our secondary. I think that Seahawks team was mostly their secondary. Our D-line is so fucking good. All right. I don't know. I'm worried about Foxborough. Drake May's good, but that's it. Peace, boys.
Okay, Luke, you're out of your goddamn mind about the Seahawks. Let me just. I mean,
I was like, this. Let me just say before you break it down, this Texans defense is really good.
I agree.
And I think despite CJ Stroud looking awful in that game, he looked awful. Despite that, you do have a chance to beat the Patriots in Foxborough because your D is so good. Calling it generational and then comparing it to that Seahawks defense is lunacy.
So it is. And by the way, your D, I thought Aaron Rodgers might die. I was like, this is sad to watch. This is somebody beating up an old man. Like, I mean, at one point he got sacked by running into his own player. Like it was.
He didn't even run into him. The guy just like got pushed back into him, and then he just went like.
Full disclosure, that
fucking disappearing black guy meme.
You living in the meme world. That was tough for me to watch, truthfully, that fourth quarter. Like, I watched until the very end, even though it was a blowout. I wanted to see. It was tough for me. I am not a fan. I struggle with seeing especially great quarterbacks, end on like a pick six and a fumble. And like, I was like, oh, this is tough.
Bro, that game was tough. I texted you
It
and
was.
I was like, this is what people who don't understand baseball feel like when they're watching a pitcher's duel. And I was like, and then I thought about it further and I was like, yeah, except these quarterbacks keep turning the fucking ball over and just dropping them and fumbling them. I was like, this is like a 2-1 pitcher's duel if all 3 runs came because the pitchers plunked 5 guys in a row in an inning
Yeah.
and walked in a batter.
I mean, look, for me, it was all those things. And it was particularly tough. Again, a quarterback just basically you're watching the end. And I know they can't all go out like Elway, or even though Brady didn't win his last year, he won his second to last year. You know, like I know, but even like Peyton Manning couldn't throw worth shit, but he won a Super Bowl. Like I know, and I know like Eli didn't go out the right. Like I know.
Bro, what did I say when I was picking that game too? I was like, I'm gonna feel real dumb if I pick the Steelers, and then all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers is just fucking looks like shit, and the defense just eats him alive. And I did.
Yeah, well, again, to go back to the initial call from Luke, the Texans D is great. Bro, I don't know how young or old you are. Let me just talk to you about I looked it up real quick last night when I heard your call. The Seahawks D, that 2013 D, which beat, before I even go into the Seahawks stats, which beat the record-setting Broncos offense 43-8. By the way, that Broncos offense that year, Peyton Manning threw for almost 5,500 yards and 55 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
So, like, that was the record-setting Broncos offense that they absolutely lit up. Anyway, here's the only numbers you need to know. That Seahawks D led the league in points allowed, fewest points allowed, fewest yards per game, and most takeaways. They led in all 3. That Seahawks D was the first team to do that since the 85 Bears. So it basically hadn't been done in 30 years. And I know that the Legion of Boom gets all the credit. Dude, they were stacked from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Now look, this Texans D, they could do some things, and they look good, and they don't miss tackles. They're a nice squad. They're fun to watch. My concern is, I mean, Joe already talked, like CJ Stroud couldn't hold on to the ball. Bad throw. I mean, by the way, let's not forget, as great as the Texans D, that game was 7-6 starting in the fourth quarter because the offense was so bad for the Texans. Here's the thing, man. I like the Texans D. Would I be shocked if the Texans win? Hell no. Because I think the D is that good.
Yeah.
I think the Patriots win a close one. It's 3.5. I think the Texans can cover, but I think the Patriots win.
Coach, quarterback, Foxborough. Defense goes to the Texans. I think the Texans could absolutely win this game if they do what they did toward the let's not forget, toward the end of the game, you're scoring points with your defense. You're going to need to score points with your defense again.
Yeah.
Absolutely could win the game. You're not getting a ton of value if you're betting them to win the game, but you're getting better value than you get to pick them to cover. So while I am going to pick the Patriots to win the game and the Texans to cover, there's no value. Just, if you believe that, then just bet the Texans to win the game. And this will be a huge test for Drake May, who at this point has now beaten 2 teams with 500 records. I would not be shocked in the slightest. But also how the offense looked in that game. The Steelers are not nearly what the Patriots are at this point in the season. Aaron Rodgers was a shell of himself. Vrabel, I trust way more than Tomlin. And that was a close game until 10 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I'm taking the Pats. But I think this is going to be a good game. And let me just say this, Luke, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for the Texans in this game. No doubt about it.
Well, I'm very conflicted. I like Vrabel a lot.
Patriots are one of your teams.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Patriots, Bucks, Seahawks, Rams, Chargers.
I like the Bears now with Caleb Williams too, and Ben Johnson. So look. I like Drake May. I like Vrabel a lot. I also I enjoy watching. I've said it all year. I enjoy watching this Texans D.
Yeah.
Those dudes hit, they wrap up, they get turnover, takeaways. But I mean, you brought up the points. Like that was a game until 10 minutes. They had scored 2 touchdowns in one quarter.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you bring up a great point. Like, do the Texans have to score again on defense to win this game?
I think they absolutely do.
That's a tough ask. You're asking your defense, you have to score a touchdown? Here's the thing. I think Vrabel will have, conversely, the Patriots D ready. I stand by. I think Patriots win in a close one.
How about this? Stephon Diggs revenge game? You heard it here first.
I forgot that he played on the Texans.
If you're dabbling in them prize picks.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if I saw both QBs with multiple turnovers, truthfully. All right. Final game. Rams, Bears. Rams are a 3.5-point favorite.
In Chicago.
In Chicago. Another game I'm very excited for.
That feels too high, too. I'll just say this right now. You said you're excited for it. I'll say this. This is my hot take. The NFC Championship game. I think the winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl.
Okay. Well, I'm just glad, and we'll get to the call here in a second. I'm just glad that, unlike last week's Bears game, that Al Michaels isn't calling it. Let's go to the hotline here.
Joe, Andy, Happy New Year. It's Tony Goldbots. I'm just calling in to say I'm still thinking about Al Michaels' call that fucking Packers game. When are we going to kill him off?
I agree.
I mean, the lack of excitement in that man's voice as Christian Watson does a front flip into the end zone is despicable. What an epic game, what an epic weekend in the NFL. But the ending of that game and the way Al Michaels called the last play makes me want to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge.
And by the way, he's coming back. It's already been established. He's coming back next year. I just don't understand it. He's had a obviously well-documented, well-storied Hall of Fame career. He doesn't care. It's literally a joke every Thursday. It makes all the rounds on social media. And another touchdown. It's like, you don't care. There's no enthusiasm. There's no excitement.
He cares this much more, though, than he cares about his wife and children.
That's true.
This man refuses. This man is like, I will die in a booth or in a car drunkenly speeding down Main Street, Santa Monica.
Shout out to Enterprise Fish Company. I think it's where he was eating at before, if I'm correct.
That shit's long gone. Gotta be.
Enterprise? Enterprise?
Gotta be gone. I don't know for sure, but I would say gotta be gone.
You are correct. Permanently closed. What, you think that was a COVID casualty?
I don't know if it was
Yeah.
COVID right after, but like, here, let me tell you something. You remember how big that space was?
You want to hear something crazy? Never ate there once.
Wow. But you've been in there.
I have been in there. It lasted 41 years. It closed. Yeah, COVID got it. August 14, 2020. Al Michaels is 81, by the way. Yeah, he's got one kid. She's
in therapy.
I mean, she's old now, right? Like,
yeah,
he's old.
Yeah.
Dude, Al Michaels is so old, and I knew this. You know how long he's been announcing?
How old is he?
You know how long he's been doing this? His first big gig was calling Reds games in the 70s for the Big Red Machine. I mean, that alone says it. You call like
a lot of people say they're the Big Red Machine. I think they're just the Red Machine. Like, get excited about this.
Yeah, he doesn't really care, man.
He's a great example too of something I always talk about. Listen, there's so much talk about this, like DEI and diversity and all this stuff. The great, like, listen, I get it. I am personally affected every day by being a straight white man in Hollywood, and I'm fine with it. The part of it that bothers me is like diversity, except the old ass dudes who should be gone. Those guys we refuse to get rid of. You want to have a more diverse crew? Fine. Like, well, can't have everybody be a white guy. Well, can we make room for one or two by getting rid of fucking old heads that no one finds interesting or cares about anymore?
You know, and two things with that crew. Herb Street, you got to stop showing your dogs.
We have to give Kelsey Grammer a 14th shot at it.
Yeah. Herb Street, stop showing your dogs. We get it. You have dogs. You bring them on the field. Which, by the way, I love that people have leaned in now to those jokes. Like, okay, hey guys, Herb Street's got a golden retriever. Cool. Like everybody loves who doesn't love dogs? Michael Vick. Like everybody loves dogs. You don't gotta like stop. And then Al Michaels, who like we've stated is a million years old.
Good crossover here. This would be a good crossover. They should shoot Al Michaels like old Yeller.
You know, I was thinking that.
You know the problem with Al Michaels, old, not a yeller.
Yeah, but
shoot old quieter.
I was thinking that during the game. I'm like, this is such an exciting game, such an amazing comeback by the Bears, and Al Michaels is like, it's past my bedtime, basically. This game's going on too long. There's too many scores. There's too many TV timeouts for the kickoffs, commercial breaks. And I've never really understood that dynamic too, by the way.
Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit.
Yeah, it was just like they tried to force two names.
Hey, when we get out of here, after this game's over, because it was an exciting game, you want to share just 2 scoops of vanilla ice cream with 1 spoon? It's like, fuck. Plain vanilla ice cream be hitting. And you're like, you guys, you know what? I don't know if you ever tried this, but you ever scooped that vanilla ice cream, put it directly on some Wonder Bread? Oh, man, that should be hitting. And you're like, you guys are the most boring men in America.
So back to the actual game. I think it's 3.5. I actually think the Rams win and cover. I think the Rams defense finally steps it up. That's my prediction. I'm sure it's going to be cold as shit there.
It's tough, man. Cold, West East. Did the Rams stay back there? Did they stay East Coast?
I doubt it, right? What's the forecast here for? I mean, it's cold as shit here right now.
Yeah.
Like
beautiful here right now. Beautiful. It's like 75 and sunny.
okay, well, it's gonna be cold there. It's one
This
of the,
is my favorite game of the weekend. I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to be drinking.
this is your favorite.
Yeah, this is my favorite game of the weekend. Old guard QB, old guard offensive genius, young QB.
Wait, Sean McVay's an old guard.
Well, listen, he's been doing it a long time. This is my favorite game of the weekend. But I agree with you. I'm taking the Rams.
I said 9-4. Sean McVay's he turns 40 next week.
He's younger than Al Michaels' kids.
He turns 40. Now I'm looking at his wife. She's hot. Okay, anyway.
I can't you know what would be a really fun Super Bowl matchup? A Rams Broncos, Sean McVay versus his high school classmate Bo Nix.
Battle of the Seans. Sean McVay, Sean Payton.
Yeah.
One guy you'd like to be around, the other guy you want to punch in the face. He's such an asshole. All right. Hotline 859-832-0478.
Come see me at the Irvine Improv with Nate Craig next Wednesday, January 21st. It's a week from yesterday. January 21st, Irvine Improv, me and Nate Craig, co-headliners. It'll be a fun show. Lots of shows coming up, joepartner.com/shows. Check that out. And for you sports fans, recording an episode with Jay today with Byron Scott, former Laker Byron Scott. So I think that's dropping on Tuesday. Keep your eye out for a Byron Scott, Jay Moore episode.
What's he doing these days?
He has a podcast.
Because, I mean, he coached a lot, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, well, he definitely coached a lot, but I think he's just, same as everybody. But I'll find out today when I sit down with Byron Scott.
Yeah. Get the real Kobe deets for us. Like, when did Byron Scott, when did he retire?
It's a great question.
Oh, I'll help you out right here.
2000?
Just trying to see when he, good guess. 96, 97.
Wow. When did he start?
83, 84.
Wow.
So he might have 1 year with Kobe. All right, guys, that's the show. Thank you for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on Monday. And as always, stay dirty.